Welcome to Flying for Flavor, episode 34.
Yay.
Yay. We're at the Garson Community Center, which is just outside of the core of Sudbury, for those of you who are not familiar with the area, but it's still part of the greater city of Sudbury. It's about a 15-minute drive, I guess, from about the downtown core. And we are here at the 37th annual, I believe, Sudbury Sportsman show. And we're here to talk to people who are who are selling, showcasing any kind of outdoor and travel products for the 2018 season. Basically, if it has to do with being outdoors, there's something here for you, which is pretty cool.
That is. Yes.
So what are you guys anxious to see this weekend?
Ooh. Do you mean here at the show?
Yeah. Okay, funny girl.
Wow,
Okay,
wow, wow.
Okay, that's it. That's for an after-show discussion.
And we don't have.
We went sideways already in the first 5 minutes.
I've heard, I want to go down later and check out, I've heard there's some places where whitewater rafting is happening.
Yes.
And some cottages and stuff like that. I love sort of cottage and camping and stuff like that. I would just am kind of excited about that.
Yeah, well, as I said, I think people, when I was first coming the idea of this podcast, I think that everyone really knows us for the food and wine aspect of things, but we are talking about travel and the whole idea of being outside, going to see new things and trying new things, and especially here in Canada, being outdoors is the way to do it, right?
And what really excites me about this is that whole concept is one new thing.
One new thing.
I've never whitewater rafted before. So when as soon as you guys said that, I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
So we're sorry. Go ahead, Deke.
So I was just to say I've never been to there's Rockies Lake Wanapitche here.
Right.
That restaurant. I've never been.
Oh, okay.
Ever. But they're doing a lot of really cool stuff, so I'm looking forward to interviewing them.
Yeah, so we have a few interviews here lined up, and then if there's people here from the area that are just stopping in to check out the show, they have every right to come in and say hello, especially those who don't get scared off by the big microphone that I decided to bring today. So we're going to skip the industry updates because nobody really wants to hear about that today, because we're seriously here just talking about all kinds of fun things like ATVs and boats and campers and outdoor gear, hunting, fishing, and all that kind of fun stuff. I'll go through some trends for 2018, so that's the way when we're wandering around the show, we can keep an eye out to see if these trends that I found online are actually true, right? So one of the trends that is supposed to be really hot this year is the glamping trend.
Oh.
So if you don't know what glamping is, so glamping is what people laugh at when they who are true campers. So those are the people that need to have, proper bedding at a proper height inside their tents. They need to have air conditioning or fans. They need to have proper bedding, mini fridges, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like half being at home with a tent over top and calling it camping. So that's just one of those things. Smaller RVs, so instead of people bringing the massive RVs that they used to, now it's cooler to have smaller ones that you could kind of go in and out, and you don't need to have a big, huge vehicle to tow it. I know that, this is going back a ways, that when Norm and I were first married, we had a very small, I used to be able to pull my trailer with my neon.
How very cool.
Yeah.
I had a neon too.
Yeah. I think back then everyone had a neon.
Yeah.
So we put a hitch on the neon. It probably pulled a little bit, but it was the trailer's called a bowler, which is very famous. But yeah, we had that bowler for quite a few years, and we found out when this is around the time everything on the internet was starting to, people kind of meetup groups and stuff online. There's an entire community online for bowler owners, and then they actually have conference.
Really?
There's big, huge gatherings of them all over North America. It's wild. We never went to any, but I think the cool thing was the fact that it was small. It was cost efficient, so it's cheaper to run than the larger, bigger ones. And we managed to find one that even had an air conditioner tacked on the back. Thank you very much. So smaller RVs are getting back in style. So who knew I was ahead of the curve?
There you go.
And then, of course, this goes back to that glamping thing, is that if you are going to spend the money on a big RV right now, everything to do with high tech. So having all of your entertainment sources in there, plugins for everything, LED lights whenever you need it. So all of the new technology should be popping up on all the boats and everything else that we see this weekend. And then if you big on social media, there's the new hashtag is van life. So there's actually people on Instagram who have made themselves huge Instagram followers based on the fact that all they do is they live in the back of camper vans and they take cool pictures of wherever they are. So now it's cool to get these camper vans. So it's a big millennial thing. They all
Park
go.
it down by the river.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's like the old 70s are all back again, eh? And then, of course, if you're going to go the standard route with, again, camper trailers or whatever they were talking about, or even tents, unique floor plans, special layouts, pop-outs, and add-ons. My cousin, when she got her new trailer, she has one of those... It looks like a shelf that comes down on the outside, and she has all her like morning coffee set up and everything out there. It's cool, and of course I see it. I'm like, oh my god, that's an instant bar. What are you doing? Right, to have a bar on the outside of your trailer? How cool would that be? Anyways, she's got coffee on her, so I still tease her about that. Do you guys have any memorable camping stories or things of? Because you said that you love that whole camping thing. Did you do a lot of it?
Well, in cottages. I'm not. I would probably be your glamping person. Unfortunately,
Oh my goodness! Are you telling me that I'm more rustic than you two?
I've never slept a day in a tent.
Oh no! That you know what? That has to be your hashtag one new thing for this year.
Well, I was thinking whitewater rafting. Hashtag in a tent.
I am so getting in a tent. I haven't quite figured out when yet, but I'm going to do it.
It'll be like a post.
Might have to be in my backyard.
Well, that'd be okay, because then I can run. Like, there's a sound. I've got to go.
Oh my god!
The wildlife is coming. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, that's funny. So you weren't camp. You're not a camper either, then?
Not really. I just wasn't brought up that way.
Wow. Yeah. So we always did. I mean, that was family. Like generations were always camping in provincial parks. But mostly we always had trailers as well. I think we had tents when we were kids. You know, my parents were very young. And then as they got older and they got more money, they started investing in, trailers getting bigger and bigger. Because same thing that we started out with tents. And it's funny, we went to a trailer, then we sold the trailer. And now the occasional time that we do want to go someplace where other people are camping, look, we'll just use a tent if we need to.
Right.
Either that or find a hotel nearby.
Right.
I admit it. I can be a diva occasionally too.
I just remember when we were kids, my parents used to rent a camp out on Manitoulin. And so every year we would have that was our summer holidays with them, was we'd go there for 2 weeks. But that was it, like we didn't, and then we'd have another vacation somewhere else in the year, but that was our key summer event. Cool. And then my parents owned their own cottage on West Arm, Lake Narrows. So, I mean, it was like a full functioning camp cottage with electricity and heat and hot water and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
so.
see, we never had a cottage, and now we own Norm's parents' cottage on French River.
Oh, nice.
But the property hasn't really been used in years. Like, we have to go through and do a lot of renovations and things on it. So that's going to be another project that we're working on this summer. But I'm more nervous about this whole idea of having a cottage. And it's people tend to show up when you don't expect it.
Just don't tell them you're going.
I know, but he's used to that, where people just sort of come and go, and that's family friend. Like it's like this open door policy, yes. And that's what he was brought up with,
right?
And I'm not that way, right? Campsites, people don't come wandering into your trailer. It's just a thing. So it'll take me a little while. I'm a little private that way, so we'll see how it goes. I told him I have to ease into it.
There we go.
Yeah, that's good. This is Stephanie. We are live here at the Sudbury Sportsman Show, and because I've been researching cottages, I think I mentioned in a previous podcast episode, as soon as I found our friends here at Booth Landing, I thought it'd be a perfect way to sort of kick off the show for the weekend. So this is Nunzio and Cindy. Hello. For Booth Landing Camps and Cottages, and one of the reasons that I wanted to interview them and chat with them is because I heard when Deke was talking to you earlier that you're starting to get into the whole gourmet pizza thing.
Yeah, we're going to be starting hopefully this summer. We completed building the outside. We have a big pizza oven, wood burning pizza oven outside. So hopefully this summer we're working right now to get organized to try and do that one night a week, and then also have them available for Saturday at lunchtime.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
And you said you have an event space there too, so I guess that will come in handy?
Yes, yeah.
So how big is your event space that you have? Are you getting a lot of family gatherings?
Well, we have a booking this summer for a birthday, and then we've had, in inquiries now for weddings. We had our daughter's wedding at the hall, and it sat 80 people comfortably. We can sit up to 100.
Oh, that's a good size.
Yeah,
you don't want to
it's
look too bigger than that.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, Cynthia, she's not here. She didn't tell me about the bigger weddings.
Yeah,
So-
we can either provide actually the catering for it, or we can get the caterers to come in.
We always talk about there's nothing better late night after wedding than pizza.
Right, yeah. And the outdoor wood burning pizza oven would be perfect.
Oh my God, it is perfect. So tell me a little bit more about just the layout of what kind of cottage styles, camping facilities that you have on site.
We have 6 cottages right now. One is being replaced this summer. We have a variety with full washrooms. We have 2 that have just a small washroom, and then we have 2 that are secluded with cold running water and an outhouse. We have essential washroom with flush toilets and showers, and we have 10 overnight sites and 62 seasonal sites.
Wow.
So we have a little bit of variety. We have a great golf course down the road. You can ATV right from our property, and great fishing in the area.
Holy cow.
We're on Wassy Lake.
Oh yes, and Wassy Lake is just outside of Powassan
That's
area,
right. We're
right?
east of Powassan.
15 minutes off of Highway 11.
Okay, so that'll be just a little bit south of North Bay, for those of you not familiar with the area. I was talking to them earlier because I spent many summers in that area, so I know it well. So if somebody's interested, I'm assuming you're starting to get all your availability and your calendar booked up. How's the best way people to reach you?
The best way is go on our website, www.boothlanding.com. Under the interactive map, there is a contact us area. You can either email me or you can call us through the phone number that's there. Our calendar for availability is always up to date, and we'd love to hear from everybody.
We have an events dates posted as well, so if you want to attend one of the events, everybody's welcome.
Ooh,
to attend.
special
So
events
just,
too. You two are busy.
Yeah.
To make it easier for those who are listening on the podcast on Saturday morning or whatever, I will have the listing directly to their website on the show notes. The show notes again are stephaniepiche.ca/flavor34, or if you're listening to this on your mobile device, all you have to do is click that little blue link. So we have a boat. We didn't even take it out last year. That's how weather wasn't the greatest, and not to mention it's a sailboat.
Oh, okay.
And neither one of us know how to sail.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, so we've had a sailboat for 3 years.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's parked at the yacht club.
You have membership and everything?
Yeah. No, we had every intention. Oh, we were going to take lessons, and we kind of know how to put things. So it's like every year, we always get a phone call. Are you guys going to put your boat in the water this year? We are the worst boat owners ever. But I love being out on the water. I'm not afraid of the speed with the sails or anything. Like, I know that if I had the time to learn to do it properly, I would love it. And then we got a small one. Well, not that we got a small one. It was an impulse purchase on my husband's behalf. So he got a really great deal on it. But I like the idea that because it was smaller, it was something that maybe we could turn into almost like a little road trip where we could take the sailboat to, one particular lake, go and spend a little time, go to another one. We've never done it, but
Very cool. I
it's pretty
remember
cool.
that like 8 or 9 years ago, I bought a pontoon boat.
oh,
And-
I always wanted one of those. Those
And
are
I
party
was-
boats.
Oh, they are fun. And when I was living in North Bay, and I had it docked and everything, but I'm not great at driving it. But it's similar to the sailboat thing, right? Where you just kind of navigate in, and you've got 2 boats on either side, and you're like, oh gosh, here we go. Hope no one's watching as I back this sucker in. But
We usually have to hide when we have to turn our motor on because we can't catch the right wind. Like we can't go back. Like we can go one way,
Turn
and then
around,
we don't know how to go.
turn around.
So we put our motor on and we go way off the side, and never fails. There's always some regatta or something on the lake at the same
every
time that
time.
we're out there. So we're trying to hide. Nobody see us be incognito with our motor on. Now everyone's gonna be looking for us on the lake.
There we go,
The
too much
losers.
fun.
Yeah, look for the losers.
Pontoon boat and
And my sailboat with the motor on it. Okay, yeah, I'm a loser. I get it.
No.
So water sports. So what kind of? So you said you had a pontoon boat. Have you ever done any kind of major water sports? What are
Yeah,
your
my
favorites?
parents live on a lake. I used to love kneeboarding.
Oh, kneeboarding.
That was my jam.
Okay, so you're speed. You like speed.
Yeah.
Speed. Yeah. Maybe it's a guy. Well, some girls like speed. I'm not a big speed freak. I don't need to go fast on things. Norm used to be the little backtrack things. Maybe he'll get his little 2 cents in. Probably don't see him before Saturday, but he was the Canadian Sea-Doo champion.
oh, very
Yeah, I know. Seeing the guy in his little pretty suit, yeah, he was the Canadian Sea-Doo champion.
Didn't you learn?
He's like Forrest Gump. He's just capable of all this amazing stuff. There's all these neat stories. Like, oh yeah, by the way, he's a Canadian national Sea-Doo champion.
Yeah, he still has his Sea-Doo, I think, in the garage cottage. Yeah, I know. So he also has, that's one of the reasons that when he stopped Sea-Dooing, that's why he went into motorcycles. That's why biking. Yep.
Yes.
So he still gets his speed, but as he's getting older, he still likes the idea of the control, the driving part of it, but he's a little slower now. His bike style keeps changing to a little bit more modest, right?
Right.
So there's a couple cool things for trending this year. Kayaks, I guess they're getting lighter and lighter now because people want to take them and carry them more where they're going.
Yes.
There's another cool trend. I don't think it's necessarily going to be as much up here, but when you see wetsuits or anything, I think it'd be really cool to see if there's any high-tech wetsuits or what temperatures they're going down to, because now that there's more and more global warming happening with lakes and places that are melting.
Right.
More people who are trying to go into water sports and maybe surfing on the ocean sides of Canada or something, they're trying to go to places now that are brand new places to surf that they never had before. So you need to have better gear, right?
And not only that, I know people here in Sudbury that have full-on wetsuits and go kayaking until the ice is on the water.
Yeah.
And I mean at the rowing club when we do sculling, it's the same. As soon as the water's unfrozen, you're out there. It's freezing. I mean, you're on 7 layers and the whole puke and hat thing.
But it's just so funny. She'll do that, but she won't go in a tent. Who knows?
Depends how much.
And then, so a couple of things that, there's other little trends out there that I have to do some research on because I don't know anything about them. So there's SUP camping. So I know that SUP is usually stand-up paddleboarding, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's called SUP camping is supposed to be a new trend for 2018. And then there's something called foiling and hydrofoiling. Again, I don't know what they are. These are brand new that I just looked up. So we'll see if we'll find anybody here in the show that actually knows what these things are.
Do have? I'm wondering if that's what it's called. I mean, you know, like the water Ironman suits. The boots that you attach to a Sea-Doo.
Oh, is that what that is?
I don't know. Is that what it is?
We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out.
That's so exciting.
But they have it downstairs.
Okay.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
The one suit thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not even a suit. It's just like these boots that it looks like it's just this unit that you strap your feet into.
And then the water shoots.
Oh, I've seen people on Facebook posting. Yeah.
And you like hover above the water, like 10, 12.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of fails though. If you YouTube it, there's a lot of those that fail at that really well. That would be me. So that's why I wouldn't try.
Okay, I'm going to still look up for those YouTube fails to put them on the show notes, by the way. And of course, your show notes are to be found at stephaniepichet.ch/flavor34. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Last couple things, of course, everyone's very concerned because if you love the outdoors, you also love the environment. So anything, they're going to find marketing materials that are always going to be talking about the carbon footprint, right? By doing things that are low tech or whatever, it's actually saving the planet. So you can still spend time outside and you can still travel without having to cause any damage. And the other cool thing is, and it's just because I started watching this new series called Siren. Have you watched it? My dad told me about it, but I guess it's all about mermaids that basically attack or basically take revenge on humans.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool. Just started this week.
So they can get onto land.
No, they're upset about all of the damage that the humans are doing to the fishing life and dolphins and everything else, and so yeah, they're coming for you. Anyways, I just watched the season premiere earlier. So anyway, so things that are having to do with mermaids, because mermaids are hot, especially for kids. So things like monofins. So they slip them on so that kids can be swimming. I do know that there used to be one here in Sudbury. There was somebody who was teaching mermaid swimming, or I thought I saw that. Yeah. I don't know if it was just in here or she was just advertising it here, but it's one of those things that in some swimming schools or plant that you can actually take little lessons for kids, so girls get to be a mermaid for a day. I think that's so amazing. That's a fun birthday party idea. So if you're a really good swimming instructor, there's your little hint if you haven't already set one up. Do a mermaid class.
Hey guys, Deeks Air here from Flying for Flavor. How you doing? I'm here with Heather Hill from Rockies on Lake Wanapitei here. Heather, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So currently I'm managing Rockies, and we're looking for to capture the new tourism out there. We are the #1 sled destination in Sudbury. Now we're looking to be the #1 destination in the summer also. We have our marina, we have our docks, we have dockside fuel, the only person on Wanapitei, and now we're looking to capture the tourism that we haven't. We are looking to do the kayaks and paddleboard rentals. We are going to have some events this summer, some mud runs. Flyboard Sudbury's coming out for a weekend, July 14th and 15th. So come
Hang on a second.
They're right
come
there.
and try them out. They're right.
Flyboard, wave. She just talked about you.
So come check them out on Wanapitei this summer. We are going to have some horseshoe tournaments, lots of events. Our annual baseball tournament will be back this year. And just looking to capture everything. And we're here at the Sportsman show with the market survey to see what else everybody out there would like us to do.
Right here. So we have brand new management, right? There's a lot of improvements, a lot of really exciting things coming. Now, one of the things I noticed in here, Heather, one of the questions was, do you currently own any of the listed recreational vehicles? Why are you asking?
We're looking to see what people own, and then we can expand it by, there's lots of people that want to do this, but maybe can't just go out and buy one right now, but we are looking into starting rentals. We're looking into working with OFATV and doing some being part of their trail system, and also doing guided ATV tours as well as the kayak tours. So we're looking to capture everybody out there.
Really cool, really cool. Now you also mentioned that you made some tweaks to your new menu. Tell us about that.
Yes, so we have a new winter menu. We've kept our prices really competitive. We want to make sure everybody's full when they leave. And in the summer, we've added the pasta to the menu. We haven't had that out there before, so we have some fettuccine, cappelletti, we have new salads. We have a summer and winter drink menu, because in the winter you want to warm up, in the summer you want to cool down. And we also have our campground out there that has 106 lots, and there's some available for rent.
Oh, very cool. Right in the heart of Sudbury, guys. Not in the heart of Sudbury, just on the outskirts of Sudbury, but it captures the heart of Sudbury pretty well. There's a lot of really great and exciting improvements coming to Rockies like Wanapitei, and I'm personally looking forward to checking out myself.
Thanks.
Heather, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Stacy with Wine for Flavor Crew. Today I'm here with Larry, who works with the Wilderness Tours Canada out of, where are you based at?
We're an hour west of Ottawa, near Pembroke.
Okay. And what attracted me is that I've never been whitewater rafting.
That's a shame.
And I see that you have some specials at the show. We're at the Barson Arena this weekend for the Sportsman show. So we're just here and talk to us about some specials.
Our show specials. So our most common packages is getaways. A getaway package. That's 2 nights camping, 5 meals, 2 days of rafting. Normally $279. We have it on sale at the show for 40% off at $179.
And when is that book for that? What month?
It's valid in May and June.
Okay.
We don't ask you to book at the show. I'll just take down some information and then we can book it later.
Oh, perfect. You have to sign up for sure. I noticed that in your brochure you do a lot of different things, not just whitewater rafting. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We have a full resort. So we have a huge restaurant. We do, again, full meal package.
Okay.
Our restaurant has a patio on it. It's got 2 hot tubs and a pool. Live entertainment every night of the week. 5 sport courts right off our patio. And a bungee tower. Mountain bike trails.
Have you done all of this?
I have done all of this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Almost every day.
What's your favorite?
Probably the whitewater rafting. I'm going to have to say the whitewater rafting.
Right? Okay. Very cool. And I noticed you have a wedding pavilion.
We do weddings. Almost every weekend. Yeah. We have a lot of different styles of accommodations. So a lot of camping, cabins, waterfront chalets, houses that sleep 12 people.
Oh, 12 people.
Yeah.
That would be like the whole flavor crew. We could go down and do whitewater rafting this summer. What do you think, Stephanie? Bring snacks. Bring snacks and wine.
We have a lot of wine.
Oh, yes? Oh, really? Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm looking at this picture. There's a brochure they have here at the show, and it shows their property, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody on Facebook Live? Or you said
Come see us at the show.
Come see us at the show. You've got some really great deals going on, so come on out and see the
Larry. Are you here all weekend?
I'm here all weekend.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
We'll come keep Larry company.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Oh my goodness, Stephanie. We're going to have to get a lot of snacks ready, aren't we? We got a lot of things to get
Okay,
going.
so the funny thing is, every time we stopped at a booth, Stacey was trying to figure out how we could stick snacks. How can we put snacks on that boat? How can we put snacks on that Sea-Doo, that 3-seater?
Oh, there's a possibility.
That
Don't
flyboarding
worry.
company.
Lots of
I mean,
room.
they weren't even interviewed for this podcast, but they were a lot of fun to chat with. You'll kind of see we reference them when we're Deke's interviewing Heather at Rockies, and then if you watch the Facebook live video or the video feeds on this, you'll kind of see we kind of showcase it. So they had 2 different Sea-Doos there. It was a lot of fun because we were kind of researching because we found out what hydrofoiling is.
Absolutely.
So hydrofoiling is supposedly it's like a surfboard with this long piece under it, kind of a hose thing that kind of pushes you out of the water. You can get it motorized or not. Anyways, I didn't even have to Google it. I just had to ask somebody. I knew somebody would know here. So that was fun. So all of the links for the videos. So if you're not on Facebook, all you have to do is kind of scroll down on the show notes, and you'll be able to see the videos that we took here interviewing all 3 of these. So you get an idea, especially that map of from the Whitewater Wilderness Tours, just to showcase the size of the property or whatever. She did show that as well. All the links for the businesses that we did talk to when we were here, their links will be directly on the show notes as well. And again, the show notes are at stephaniepichet.ca/flavor34. Now, next week. So remember, I was talking about that I went to a little symposium about food waste.
Yes.
So foodrescue.ca it was just launched, actually, and Sudbury's one of only a few places in all of Ontario that this place is test piloting.
Oh, very cool.
So it's attached to Second Harvest in Toronto, so that's the big company that takes care of all of matching extra food to non-profit organizations.
Okay.
So it's a really cool cause, so I'm trying to get in on the ground floor with them, and I'm hoping that I have another chance that we can convince our Sudbury representative to come and hang out with us next Wednesday.
That would be
So
fun.
in case, instead of us just talking about it, maybe we can ask her questions directly, which would be kind of cool. And maybe we'll have to pry her with beer, because I hear you're bringing beer.
I am. I was lucky enough to be brought on as a merchandiser through Molson's, so I have some samples that I want to share with
We
everyone.
like samples. So that anyone out there sending stuff, send us samples.
Yes, send us samples. We'll try them and we'll talk about them on air.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody. This one is actually about flavored malt beverages, ciders. Oh. So we're going to have
Norm's going to try to sneak in on that one. We'll have to keep him out.
No, he should. Come on out. We're doing Mad Jack, Henry's Hard Soda, and Strongbow.
Oh, I love Strongbow.
And there's some new flavors coming out this summer.
Oh, is there?
There is. There's a pear that's coming out.
Ooh, I love pear cider.
Yes.
So we will have to. We're not going to tell all of the different things because we can talk about that next week.
Absolutely.
So it's it doesn't quite go with our food rescue theme. However, we are going to be talking about the Microbrew Festival, which is happening the following week. So this kind of ties into beer, and we just find an excuse to drink anytime.
Absolutely. So send us any kind of samples you want.
And snacks.
And snacks. Don't forget the snacks.
All right, so I hope you enjoy the show. If you're happen to be listening to this on the Saturday morning, just after it was released, please make sure that you come down and visit all the hard-working folk down here at the Sudbury Sportsman show at the Garson Arena.
It's a great show.
It's a great show. Two floors. They actually had to go and open up the upstairs. That's where we are, so it's a little bit quieter for us for taping. But there's all kinds of stuff to get you in the mood and ignore all that snow outside.
Oh, yes.
So you can start planning all of your spring and summer travel plans. So make sure to subscribe and rate us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and as always, flyingforflavor.ca. See you next week.
See you next week.